So inside sub1 also, we can access display the way we access in sub. New sub.display. Is it possible? It is possible if sub overrides display. New sub.display is possible if sub overrides. Actually, don't have to say new sub.display. Directly display also is possible. Super.display. And here also, notice that display. That display will be which display? Display of my class 1, but on what condition? If sub does not override. If sub overrides, then obviously sub display will be called in sub 1. So this display will be my class 1 if sub does not override it. New my class 1 display not possible at all. New my class 1 display not possible at all in this package. Okay, now look at sub and sub 1.
Sir, second line of wide display 2.
Second line of display 2, huh? New sub.display is possible if sub overrides display. Otherwise, it's not possible. If sub does not override. So that means if it is possible, it will be possible if sub overrides display. Error if sub does not override. That means no error if sub overrides.
Hello sir.
हाँ.
सर इधर सब 1 में डिस्प्ले जब कॉल कर रहे हैं इधर लिखा है कि माय क्लास 1 डिस्प्ले सब डज नॉट ओवरराइड. और सब में हम ओवरराइड किए इनसाइड ओवरराइड.
नहीं, अगर ये सपोज नहीं है समझो, if it is not there, then you call display. Which display? My class 1 display. But if sub overrides, so which display? Sub का display. This display in sub is my class 1 display.
Sir, why the error for the my class display in the subclass?
Because that is the way protected accessibility has been designed.
But sir, we can access the same functionality in the sub 1 of a sub key functionality. Sub 1 में access.
You are in the same package. एक ही package में हो ना आप.
Okay,
sub
so
और sub 1.
पैकेज का फर्क होता है क्या सर?
Yes. So protected member can be accessed in a different class, different package inside child class, but through inheritance. Through inheritance. It's very, very important. If you don't know that, suppose आपको ये rule मालूम नहीं, तो you will say new my class 1 dot display and you will get error. आप बोलोगे अरे ऐसे कैसे? My class 1 का display अलग package में है. I am in the child class. I am not able to access. तो documentation में जो दिया है वो गलत है. गलत नहीं है. The thing is, you don't know that rule. Huh? You don't know that concept. That's why it is happening. So it's direct through inheritance. So whenever question is asked in the interview, how exactly protected member can be accessed in a different package inside child class, तो वहां पे ये नहीं बोलना है yes protected member can be accessed in a different package in a different class. If you just say that, you are repeating his question. He is expecting something from you in that case. So what does he expect from you? Is you should say it can be accessed through inheritance, or it can be called through inheritance. Once again, he might ask through inheritance का meaning क्या है? So you have to describe this scenario, or you can explain it on paper and pen. First you take one package, वहाँ पे एक base class लो, protected display. Now you come here, different package, child class में एक function होगा. In that function you say that this display I want to call here. So how will I call? How should I call? Only display, not by saying new my class 1 display. ऐसे आपको एक्सप्लेन करना पड़ेगा.
Sir, in this subclass, in that function fun, then we are calling display. Then it will
Yes.
call the subclass display method, na? Yeah, from there.
If subclass overrides that.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, if subclass overrides.
Otherwise, it will be there through inheritance.
My class 1 ka. Yes, my
Yeah.
class.
Hello, sir. In subclass, instead of new my class 1, we can create an object of sub and can we call the display method?
No.
Oh.
If
So it
if sub overrides, then yes. But in that case, it is useless to create object of sub. No, you are in the same class. आप सेम ही एक ही क्लास में हो. So why you are creating object? So that will work if you create if you override that. But if you don't override, अगर ये override नहीं करते हो, so by creating any object you cannot access. तो directly access करना पड़ेगा. Because you are accessing different package member. So whenever you access different package member, you have to access directly, not by creating any object. Yes.
Sir, if sub is like overriding void display,
So it's
then
overriding display.
then sub1 can also override, na?
Someone can also override. Yes, why not?
Okay.
Protected void display or public void display. Yes. That chain will continue. Yes, correct. Good question.
Sir, in this
Someone
case,
also can override.
can we use super keyword?
No need to say super, no? No need to say super. Okay. Super keyword we use when we want to call overridden method from overriding method. We want to differentiate same class method and base class method. At that time we use super.
Sir, if I create another class sub2 which extends sub1 and then I call display, will it show?
Yeah. If not a single child class overrides display, so it will be my class 1 display. Possible. Okay, main में new sub dot display will be possible if sub overrides. But if sub does not override, that will be error. New sub dot fun, yes, fun is the function of sub. New sub 1 dot display 2, yes, display 2 is a member of sub. So new sub dot display will be error if sub does not override display. Okay, so in this example, main point is sub. Sub 1 is just taken for discussion. Main point is sub. How exactly you call or you access protected member in a different package? Through inheritance. Through inheritance. Not by reference. That is the way protected accessibility has been designed. Okay, now we'll need the same knowledge for our discussion, object cloning discussion. So, Clone Pro programs. We have 3 examples here, object cloning, and all 3 diagrams also. Java test 1. Okay, let's see that example first. Okay. Okay. In this example, we have class engine. Engine has got private int speed. It has got parameterized constructor, getter method, and setter method. So engine class has got speed, parameterized constructor, getter and setter method for speed. Class car implements clonable. That means our intention is to clone that object of car. So that's why car implements clonable. Now once again, clonable is a marker interface. Clonable is a marker interface. That means when you implement clonable, you don't have to define any methods. Car has engine. Car has engine, has a relationship. It's not car is an engine. We can't say car is an engine. Car extends engine. No. Car has engine because car requires some functionality of engine. So inside car, we have private engine ref, string name. This is parameterized constructor. Inside parameterized constructor of car, this dot name is equal to name, but this dot ref is equal to new engine 100. So engine ref is a member of car. To that ref, we are giving a new object of engine inside constructor, new engine 100. And then setter and getter methods for name and ref. Set name, get name, set ref, engine ref, get ref, return type engine. And finally, we have clone method. Look at the way clone method has been overridden here. So car class clone method is actually called as overriding method. Object class clone method is called as overridden method. So car class maintains the same accessibility, maintains the same return type, and maintains the same exception, that is clone not supported exception. Return super.clone. Super.clone means it calls object class clone method. Car C is equal to new car nano. Car C is equal to new car nano. Now we will see the diagram of this program also. Car C is equal to new car nano. So what happens? Control goes inside parameterized constructor. Nano goes inside name. This dot name is equal to name. That means object name will be nano. And then when you create object of car, that car class has got engine ref. That engine ref is given new engine. So ref refers to new engine. Now when you say new engine, control goes to parameterized constructor of engine, where you pass 100. So 100 is passed to engine class speed. 100 is passed to engine class speed. So that way car class object gets created. C.clone. C.clone means what? You are creating one more object of car, but that object is a copy of the previous object. So here you are creating object, or object gets created without new keyword. So we have to see that C.clone, how does it create? And that we can create, and that we can see in this test1 underscore flow. Yeah, step by step. First you create car. When you say car C is equal to nano, car C is equal to new car nano, car class object gets created. Car class has got two members, ref and name. parameterized constructor gets called. In that parameterized constructor, you pass nano. So name is nano, and inside that parameterized class, we are creating ref is equal to new engine. So what happens is engine class object gets created. Engine class object has got speed as a member. We are passing 100. So 100 goes to speed, and ref refers to that object. Ref refers to that object. So what can we see here? Car class object has got two members, engine ref and string name. String name contains nano, but engine ref contains address of engine class object, which we have created inside parameterized constructor. And that engine class object has got a member speed, which is 100 because we have passed 100. And now this car class object will be referred by C. So C refers to car class object. Car class object has got ref, which refers to engine class object. And then we say C dot clone. C dot clone means what will happen? C dot clone means we will get copy of this object, copy of this car class object. That copy once again will have two members, ref and name. So name will be nano and ref will be 3000. It's a copy. So whatever value name has, the same value this name will have. Whatever value this ref has, this ref also will have same value. So this ref has got 3000. So this ref also has got 3000. So what will happen in this case? Newly created car class object ref will refer to the same engine. Newly created car class object ref will refer to the same engine. Notice that we have got one more object, but without the keyword new. Without using keyword new, we got one more object. Yes, afterwards that object will be marked for garbage collection. That's a different story. But when you say C dot clone, what happens? You get one more object of car class, and that object is a copy of the previously created object. So since it is a copy, name contains same value, ref contains same value. Okay. Look at the code. Especially these 2 points. Car implements clonable object clone method. So inside your clone, you haven't done much except super.clone.
Sir, if there is nothing inside that clonable interface, then why we are implementing?
Yeah. Good
What's
question.
the use?
Yeah. I am coming to that point. Car implements clonable. Clonable is a marker interface. In Java, there are 2-3 marker interfaces. We will see another one in file handling, serializable. Clonable is marker interface. That means you don't have to define any method. Now what happens here is marker interface. The main purpose of marker interface is to differentiate a special class from an ordinary class. For example, special class from an ordinary class. For example, if I write class A and its members, and class B members and plus class B implements clonable. Now, once in Java, if you want to copy your object, that copy behavior is not by default. ऐसा नहीं कि आप कोई भी क्लास क्रिएट करो और उसका ऑब्जेक्ट क्रिएट करो and you call clone. Not possible. It's not by default. It's not default behavior. Why? Because some people would like to create a copy. Some people, they don't want to create copy of their objects. So it depends on your choice, on your requirement rather. If you have a requirement of copying the object, then you go for copy. Otherwise, Java does not enforce copy on each and every programmer. That's why we say that in Java, copy is your choice as a programmer. But when you decide to go for copy, how will you tell JVM that I would like you to create copy of my object? You must address JVM that yes, my class is eligible for copy, or I would like to go for copy as far as my class is concerned. So you have to implement clonable. So clonable is just act as a tag, just act as an ID. Suppose you go to some program and if you don't carry ID, so you will not be you will not be allowed. But if you carry ID, pass, you will be allowed. Now when you carry ID or pass, do you look different from that other person? You get some features? No. That ID or pass acts as some identity, whereby those people will allow you. If you don't have ID or pass, they won't allow you. So same here. If your B class implements clonable, that clonable acts as an ID or pass. Okay, B implements clonable, yes, most welcome for copy. A does not implement clonable, get lost. Your copy will not be done. So that's the purpose of marker interface. Just to separate a special class from an ordinary class. So here we can say class B is special because we would like to make copy of that. Class A is not special because class A does not implement cloning. That's the purpose of marker interface, just to separate or just to differentiate special class from an ordinary class. Special class from a special requirement. Now here special requirement is copy. So from the point of view of that copy, we have to implement cloning. Yeah.
Sir, since this is a markable interface, marker interface. Does the operations takes place in the constructor of it?
No operation, actually.
The copy
no operation part. At all. No operation at all. You know what? What JVM checks? When you go for copy, JVM checks if B, whatever object you are giving, if that object instance of clonable, then do copy. Else throw new clone not supported exception. This is the code which JVM has got. So whenever you give any object for cloning, JVM checks whether that object instance of clonable, yes, so cloning will be done, copy will be done. But if by mistake that object does not implement clonable, So it throws clone not supported exception. If you want to see, we will comment this. अभी तो उसका output देखेंगे पहले. Output is done. But if car class does not implement clonable, क्या होगा? Compilation no error, because compiler is not has nothing to do with all these things. Huh? But when you run this application, so what does JVM check? Whatever object you have called clone, that object JVM checks that object instance of clonable, so copy will be done. If not, clone not supported exception will be given. See, java.lang.clone not supported exception car. So when you go for clone, and if you don't implement clonable, you get that exception. Clear? There's no functionality as such, not at all. It is just acting as a tag.
Sir, this object clone overriding method, we didn't do anything inside that method.
Yeah, that point also I am coming. Suppose I don't override here. I don't override that method here. And if I say c.clone, so what will happen? Just now we discussed.
Object class method get called.
See, car, if I don't override clone in car has clone method derived from object, but that is protected. I don't know how to call that. You can call directly inside car. So in one of the methods of car, you can just say clone. That's possible. That's quite possible. But in main function, you are creating object of the car and calling clone. That's not allowed. See what error will you get. Yes, clone has protected access in object. So compiler understands that c.clone means you are calling clone method of object. So you can't call. That's why every class where you want to clone, you must override clone. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Clone तो define करना ही पड़ेगा. Super.clone means parent class clone method we are calling. Super.clone means parent class clone method we are calling. And that diagram, this object, this copy of that object we get because of which statement? Super.clone. Otherwise, we haven't written anything in our clone. Only one written super.clone. So object class clone method is very, very special, which gives you that object. So it is very, very special. So can we get to see clone method of object class? As such, we get to see, as such we can see the source code of all the classes defined by James Gosling. So suppose if we try looking inside clone method, object, and here public class object, clone. Yeah, look at that. Protected native object clone throws not supported exception semicolon. What does that mean? It means that clone methods code, clone method logic is written in C and C++. That's why it is native method. So object just declares protected native object clone, throws clone not supported exception. This method you are calling. From car class clone method, you are calling this method, super.clone. And this method is very, very special, which gives you a full-fledged complete object.